Well, we're here at the CCA Workbench, and it's time for the Academy Outdoors Rigs and Techniques. And Dave,
I'm confused now.
Obviously, we've not been following our alphabet because this is Server X.
Server X, Area 51 or something. I don't know what we're doing. We're talking about pompanos, which are an awesome fish. And Florida is a great place to catch them. As a matter of fact, the fish we catch is called the Florida pompano. And the big problem with pompanos is we get them sometimes confused with a permit. You know, a little permit and a little pompano can look a lot alike, but they're not exactly alike. But permits can get great big. Pompanos usually don't get bigger than 8 pounds. If they do get up to 8 pounds, that's a giant.
Right.
You catch one that's 8 pounds. But how do you really tell on a pompano? The dorsal fin is behind the anal fin. So the anal fin's right here. The dorsal fin starts back here. Mm-hmm. On a permit, they're even.
Oh.
The dorsal fin and the back fin are even. Only that, a permit's tail has got a very strong V in it. It's very V-shaped, and a pompano's is wider. A permit's is folded down, and a pompano's is wider and broader. So that's how you can. That's the easiest way to tell them apart. A permit has a really sloped head, and a pompano has a giant head in the front. So anyway, I think I got it backwards. Or did it? See, I do it all the time. Last week, I said, "Oh, we don't catch pompanos where I live."
It's okay, Dave. It's the last show. I'm giving you 6 months off.
I got you. Anyway, we catch them a lot.
How are we going to catch them?
Well, I like to catch them with. I fish them in the surf. Up where I live in Playlinda Beach is a great place to fish for them, and we do that a lot in Titusville as well. We fish for them in the surf. We like to have days that aren't flat calm, but aren't real rough. You know, we like the 2 to 3 feet. You know, if it gets more than that, it can get too hard to keep your stuff where you want it to. But a nice 2-foot swell is a really good time. Reading the beach is really important. What you're looking for are those troughs and runouts, big, a place where the water is moving through the beach, and a trough that those fish will run in. And it doesn't necessarily have to be 300 yards out. I mean, we'll all come out with a big, like one of these alvies that we can cast a mile, but that's not necessarily what you have to do all the time. A lot of times the fish will be right in that first trough, and you can just bring a regular 12-pound spinning reel with 10-pound test line on it and catch them right there in the trough on a live sand flea or a jig tipped with some fish bites, which is a really good thing.
There's a 2-hook rig, the fish bites creates?
Correct. These are the surf rig, the pompano rig, and all the pompano rigs have the little red floats on them or the chartreuse floats. It attracts the fish to your bait.
Even has on the back how to rig it.
Correct. And you put a nice bank sink. I got one here rigged up with a bank sinker on it already. And you can make your own as well if you get some kale hooks and some 20-pound test fluorocarbon. That's what I like to use, is something that's really light.
Right.
And put you a sand flea on one and a shrimp on the other, or a sand flea and a piece of fish bites, and you can make these into 3, and you can put 3 different baits on here, and that's a good thing to do to figure out what they really want. You can put your first couple of ones you throw out can have 3 different baits on there, and then you go, oh, they're eating the shrimp, or oh, they're eating the sand fleas today, because sometimes there's not any sand fleas. Right. But the wintertime, they leave where Patar is at, but they come down from the north on the Atlantic side.
Right.
And October until December, January is a great time for us to be surf fishing on the East Central Florida. Now, we were talking about those guys who are skipping them. When they come into those inlets, they like to come in all the way inshore. They'll get up into the intercoastal waterway, and the guys will be to fish for them. They'll motor up and down the intercoastal waterway in the channels. The fish usually gather in the deeper water, and they'll skip behind the boat. They'll get on their sides and skip. I don't know if it's like those, sometimes you'll go online and see those carp skipping around when the guys go. It's the same thing. When you see those fish start skipping in your wake, you spin around, you go up current of them, and then you throw out your jigs. Any kind of little jig that you can get down to the bottom pretty quick and puff in the sand.
It's like this U-Pro.
Exactly. And you can tip those with shrimp or not, or even the fish bites on there as well. And, as long as you got that thing bouncing on the bottom, making little puffs, they're going to try to eat it.
That's the key.
And then they're great to eat. Once you catch them,
on the
they're
bottom
delicious.
and make those puffs. That's the key.
Hey guys, if you like what you saw and you want to see more, make sure to click the subscribe button below.